Republic of Armenia is a tiny country located in Western Asia, bordered by comparative giants, Turkey, Russia, and Iran. Most Americans have never heard of Armenia, and fewer still could find it on a map, but it is a place so many across the world consider their homeland. It is a picturesque land of sprawling hills and towering mountain ranges coated with brightly colored wildflowers, but it is also a country mired in conflict, past and present. Armenia and the surrounding lands became the site in which the first genocide of the 20th century took place 100 years ago. 2 million Armenian men, women, and children perished at the hands of the Ottoman Empire from 1915 to 1923. Armenian families were driven from their homes and forced to walk hundreds of miles into the deserts of Syria, dubbed death marches. Today, Armenians occupy nearly every corner of the world. I spoke to one second-generation Armenian genocide survivor born in the United States, who told me of her experiences returning to the land her family was expelled from 100 years ago.
My name is Jacqueline Keoseyan. Initially, when I traveled to my ancestral homeland, my motive was to build houses with the Armenian Generals Benevolent Union, but after that, it was something much more. I really wanted to connect with my ancestral homeland and be able to tell my parents about it, because I was the first person ever in my family to go back after they fled in 1915. I specifically went to Yerevan and a bunch of neighboring towns all throughout Armenia, and we also traveled to Azerbaijan to visit orphanages and build houses. The conditions were less than ideal, of course. They have a serious lack of water, and the resources to build their houses were minimal. They did not have enough wells, and sometimes even when they dig the wells, the land was so arid that they would not touch water for like miles. It was really interesting that they had such a water deficiency that they actually had to shave all of the women and children, every part of their body that had hair, including eyebrows. I think it's definitely residual effects of the genocide for sure, because before that Armenia was very prosperous. Armenia used to be actually like 5 times larger. It was located closer to the Caspian Sea and things like that, so they had more lush like terrain and soil because it was closer to water. The people were very grateful and very receptive to us. I think what they really appreciated, and the reason they were so receptive, is because most of the people in our group did speak Eastern and Western Armenian, so it really felt, I feel like they interpreted our presence there as something to be welcomed, considering that many people in our group had made such an effort to assimilate into their culture. In no way were we trying to get them to adopt our beliefs or our values. We really took a lot of precautions to make sure that they understood that we were trying to envelop ourselves in their way of life. What I took away from my experience was pretty much that even though my people had suffered so much, they still had such like a joie de vivre, like they had such like a lust for life, and they were really family oriented, and I think that was because so much of their family was slaughtered, essentially, that the family that they did have left, they really treasured. Kind of put things in perspective for me, since I feel like so often I get so wrapped up in like the problems that I encounter on a day-to-day basis. What they're really lacking versus what I'm lacking in my life, their needs are much more essential to their existence rather than mine.